handle.
Let me see some of those muscles.
Look at this. Can't handle, bro. Can't handle this shit.
What's going on, guys? LoganJYA here with Sir Emanon the GOAT playing. What were you playing today, brother?
I was playing Gouki. Yeah, so the story behind this deck is I was testing a bunch of like Brave piles for the YCS. It's in like 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, maybe I want to play like Brave Dragons, maybe like 3 Axis. But I don't own the Brave cards. So I was like, I want to like ask around and see if I could borrow the engine, but all my friends are playing the Brave package. So
It's pretty good.
Last second, literally yesterday, I put this monstrosity together. I like came up with the theory. I actually played 0 games with it. I built it entirely off of like math and just assessing the format and just my general understanding of the format. So yeah, we went 7-3 today. I lost the last round to base. I wish I could have picked up, but we didn't pull through, unfortunately. But the deck actually did really, really well. So I'm excited to share. Yeah, obviously Logan's a big fan of this deck as well.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
he did it proud, bro. I cannot
yeah.
wait to test this list.
Yeah.
Now let's check it out.
Yep, let's go. All right, so the best card in the deck obviously is Rhoda. It's the most flexible one. It's a starter or an extender. It gets you to what you need. You can bait with it, or you can just use it after you get hand trapped. Really nothing to say here. And then for the Gouki package, so we're on a higher count than maybe is typical. So 3 copies of Suprex, 3 copies of Twist Cobra. We have the 3 copies of Headbab, 1 Iron Claw, 1 Octastretch, or 2 Octastretch rather, and then 1 Guts. So I ran a lot of numbers on this deck, and basically, so first up, this is 60 cards. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
That's pretty important because like obviously all the Brave piles are on 60 right now. And so if your opponent like asks what your deck size is, like they'll assume that you're on one of those decks. So maybe they'll do something like Shotgun Lancia and you just get a fake card. But I reasoned that you can actually go to 60 reliably in this deck, not only to dilute bricks, but also so you could like see a healthy ratio of like hand traps to starters. So if I did the math, and basically if you appropriately increase the ratio of whatever type of card, be it Gouki, I classified it 3 ways, Gouki, extender, or hand trap, the percentages only change by like 0.5 to 1%, which is like nothing. And so from that point, I decided what is the number of Goukis I can run in 60 that will try and get me exactly 1, because like the only way 2 Goukis is good is if you have like Suprex, and that's not guaranteed. So the number is 12. I bumped it to 13 just so that I had a higher chance of seeing at least 1. So I wanted my number with Rhoda and this card 1 for 1 to be around 80%.
Gotcha.
So yeah, around 80% chance was like the threshold for each of those 3 categories, and I felt like that really just fit the build. And again, if you don't like see combinations, like very specific combinations, be like Suprex Gouki or like Headbab plus 2 Goukis, like that's really unlikely. They all functionally do the same thing, which is just get your loop going.
Now I want to ask you, because I've never played this one right here, the
Yeah.
Iron Claw. Could you explain him a little bit for me?
Yeah, so I wanted another level 2 that wasn't Headbat, because there are scenarios where you want to send 2 equip spells with this old, because I actually play a small Infernal package, which we'll get to later. And there are times where you want to send 2 equips so that you can banish the Durendal for the gear feed, and then you can add back the Phoenix Blade and have the gate live. So I wanted that there because like Headbat's really important to have in your hand, so like I just wanted to cycle through different names if possible. So yeah, I didn't really miss any other names, or like I didn't find that it was too cloggy. I thought the number was pretty good. There were some times where I drew too many, but like that's kind of variance. Like there'll be sometimes where you draw like 3, which is like not ideal. But I mean, if you play like 10 and 40, it's like it's like not exactly the same, but it's very, very similar.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I really like this lineup. Very, very good. And to supplement this, we play probably the best normal summon in this deck, which is 3 Neo Space Connector.
Oh yeah.
This card it overperformed massively.
Yo, how many hand traps did you either bait or rip out with this card?
I can't even count. I ripped an Ogre, I ripped a Bell, I ripped oh, the funniest one was against Zombie Eldritch in round 5. I looked at his hand. It was Ogre, Celestial Fusion Destiny, and Curse Elephant.
Rip.
So I'm like, okay, well, it's double Ogre, that kind of sucks. So I hit 1 Ogre, and then I start comboing. I'm thinking like, okay, he's gonna Ogre maybe my Assault effect to send, but he holds it because he wants to save it for Appaloosa, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But then I had enough extenders, so where I left this on board, I used the second effect that most people don't know, which is to tribute itself.
Yes.
To bring back the Dolphin.
Rip
and I used it
another.
again. And it ended up happening to where I actually just ripped the Celestial, so that his Fusion Destiny wasn't alive anymore. That was the funniest.
That's dirty.
Yeah, so yeah, this card way overperformed. If you see just this plus a Gouki, I thought it was a conflict because they like competing normal summons, right?
Right.
It's actually not the case because you just pitch the Gouki off of your Dolphin, and then when you summon a level 1 Gouki, you link it for Link Revo, search rematch, and you have 2 names in the grave. So it's just so free. Yeah, this card was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, just incredible. This is perhaps the only reason I would want to maybe keep it to 40, just to draw this more, but I mean, overall, I still drew it plenty. So yeah. Also, it's a good turn 2 push, just because like you need to like kill your opponent. So yeah. Then for extenders, we are on 3 copies of Red Layer, 3 Fire Flint Lady, 1 Jump Forward, and then I guess like more stuff here is the 3 Durendal, and then a small Inferno package of Renaud and the Gear Free.
So we know what these ones do, but
Yeah.
As a Gouki player who never really delved into Infernoble, could you explain these a little bit more and how
Yeah.
they work with the strategy?
So these cards are phenomenal. I actually have a friend who plays this deck quite a bit. Shout out to you, Callum, if you're watching this video.
Hey!
Yeah, but basically, the idea is that after turn 1, you want to use your solo to actually get good follow-up. And so what happens is that like you're going to have a good number of Gokis in circulation because you're searching a second rematch, you're searching ideally Super X and like another name, so you don't need more Gokis. What you want to be summoning is this card, because when you send Durendal for cost, this card adds it back, and then it gets you to your Phoenix or your Gear Free, and then you already have Phoenix Blade sent off your first assault. So you do the play I said earlier, which is like banish this, summon this, and then get the negate life off of the Phoenix Blade, which is just phenomenal. And this card just like helps to push the game. If like your opponent leaves your DPA on board for some reason, you can just absorb it, which is insane.
Suck.
And yeah, it's phenomenal. Like this card is side of like you can side it out going second, which I did a fair bit. But this card actually did like a lot of work. Yeah, also like card drawing it with these is also fine because it's another extender.
That's E-Sold without a normal, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And like, Soul Without Normal also is full combo because you just like go into Link Revo off the level 1 Gouki off the Soul, and then just normal summon whatever you search, and then you rematch afterward. It's literally the same thing. So yeah, that's why these are here. They don't use it normal. They're really good.
Gotcha. Cool.
So yeah, these were all fantastic. I considered playing more Jump Forward, but just actually no space, which is weird to say in 60.
Yeah.
No space.
Running out of space in 60. This is what 2022 Yu-Gi-Oh looks like.
2 Fusion Destiny,
Of course.
and the bricks. So I thought about actually playing different targets. Mostly the Celestial is contentious because you're searching Gokis all the time, and so because of that, like your hand actually has a constant flow of monsters, where it's kind of hard to empty your hand at times. But if you're just like extending and pushing for game, maybe your opponent like has hand traps in the follow-up, you can easily just make sure that like you draw into like more hand traps, because like I'm playing 19 in this list, so that's like a good kind of defensive metric. The card that I would maybe consider playing in this spot is Denier. Denier is the card that is a free recurable body if you have a D-Hero in your grave. You just bring it back once per duel, and that helps you go for your second assault push that I mentioned earlier, which is very important. And there was a time I was actually testing Denier and 2 Malicious.
I was thinking about that too when you said that. I was like,
because
maybe.
that's as guaranteed assault by itself. I just found like, again, it's weird to say, but deck space is like tight for the 2 Malicious. It's so weird.
One extra slot could mean like life or death.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
It's wild. But yeah, I was fine with Dasher though. Dasher was good. Celestial was hit or miss, but overall I was still pretty satisfied with it. Obviously DP is crazy. I played against like 6 DP decks, so yeah, it is absurd. More stuff, 2 rematch. The third never came up actually, so it was fine. I always search 2 because people were playing Ghost Bell for Frank Kid,
Right.
and you want to be able to play around it. So
Exactly. And a little known fact, in case you guys forgot, if they Bell rematch, since Bell negates activation, you can do it again.
Yep, exactly, and that is why you always search 2. And then the best part of the deck is hand traps.
Here we go.
3 Ash, 3 Ogre, 3 Veiler, 3 Droll, 3 Nibiru, 3 Impermanence, and a Lancia because of the Dagda Scythe.
Right.
19 hand traps. Yeah, 18 was like kind of my minimum threshold to hit 80%. Because like 12 and 40 is also 80%. So because like 40 times 1.5 is 60, 12 times 1.5 is 18. It's like the same ratio. So yeah, these are like I felt the best ones like that fit my deck.
Now, what put in the most work for you today?
Ooh, I don't think I drew Nibiru a single time.
Dude, that sucks.
Ogre was phenomenal. Joel was hit or miss. I played against a Thunder player in round 5, around 6, I can't remember, but yeah, he played past Joel really, really well. He played it very smart. So that was also kind of hit or miss, but Ogre was probably the best performing. These three were like middle performing, and I just didn't draw the mirror, so I can't comment.
It would be good if you saw it.
Yeah. Lancia off Dagda was actually pretty decent in like my family matchup, obviously. So.
Well, I played against so much Flunder today, and Lancia was putting in work.
Yeah, Lancia is very, very nice against that. Like those two decks, like being Flunder and PK specifically.
Right.
And Call by the Grave. This is kind of like the flex spot. You could maybe play like another like extender or another like hand trapper or something, but I just wanted like something that was flexible, like hits TP, hits Scythe, hits hand traps.
If you see it, it's great.
Yeah, it's just nice. I lost to this in the last round. It actually didn't matter, but yeah, it's strong. And then engine requirements, we have the Scythe, which this card needs to go. This card is absurd.
Scythe's the problem, not Dagda, right?
Yeah, like this card is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't know how this card is illegal. Cobra Kazir Day, I've actually played this package. So a lot of people were kind of like experimenting with this with like Phantom Knights, like with Rusty, and like maybe double, what's the thing called? The Gouki Link 4.
Right, Power Load Ogre.
Yeah, Power Load, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so like those combos I think are pretty cool. I just wanted to minimize on the bricks a bit because like the PK cards are not always the best to draw. Like they can be good situationally, like with Dolphin and stuff. They're crazy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to like streamline it and make sure that I could like Dag to Scythe Appaloosa every single time.
Exactly. Extra safe.
Yeah. This is like an engine requirement because like it's not actually that good to draw by itself.
But if you do, you can still play with it if you have extender.
Yeah, you just need an extender, and then Phoenix Blade, which you actually need to trigger Dagda. And that is the only reason I played it. It is good utility for Nightmare, so.
Right. Cool. So that's the main all 60?
Yeah, that is 60 in the main.
What a marathon. Let's get into the extra.
Extra deck is one Link Rebo. This card is very
mandatory.
important.
Mandatory.
Yeah, very, very important. I actually did not play the Dark Charmer, which is the one card I missed.
Right.
You definitely have to play a Dark Charmer for sure. I thought like, oh, you can make it with this card sometimes and maybe it'll come up, but it came up so frequently just because like DP is so prevalent. So you just have to play it. I would definitely play it moving forward. And I would tell you what to cut too, because there was one card that I just did not make ever. 2 is sold. Second one always comes up.
That's how you push for game.
Yep. Verte, Dagda, format cards. IP, which I made once or twice. It was okay. The idea is actually this against backrow decks is pretty good because I actually played this card, which is the card I never made, which is Zero Boros.
Ooh, I love this guy. Banishes everything, right?
Yeah, instead of going for Appaloosa against like Trap Eldritch or something, you just make IP and you make a Link Rebo early in your combo, and then you leave a level 1 Gouki on board. And then you IP into this, and then you trigger this and you just banish all the back row.
Oh,
and
yes.
Then, it's just game.
Oh, yes.
So, unfortunately, I didn't play any back row decks, so I just didn't make it. So this is probably what I would cut for Dark. But if you're like expecting a metagame where you're anticipating just a lot of back row, it's good to have. We'll get these out of the way. And then we got Codebreakers, so the Virus Swordsman, the Virus Berserker. This one gets a 0 day out of your deck.
Right.
This one Soul Charges 2 back. Also pops back row, which never came up, but it's a cool effect. This effect also, the biggest self back didn't come up, but these are like hidden effects that you should probably be aware of.
I've never used that one, but I have used that one before.
Yeah, I've used this one before too. Yeah, it's crazy when it comes up, but yeah. This is just not the format for it because there's not a lot of back row right now.
It's only the Eldritch decks, and if you're under skill drain, you can't do it anyway.
Exactly. Phoenix, wait, Cerberus Phoenix, I was like, wait, this is not Phoenix.
We know what you meant.
All the nightmares, yeah. So this one actually came up more than Phoenix, which is weird to say. The reason is that you want to be able to force things like Griffin Rider, because like you can target the token, chain block the Gokis, and like use out Griffin for free. Like if you have 2 Gokis, it's better because like you don't care if they negate 1 search. Alternatively, you can put this as chain link 3 just so that they negate it. It gets it out of the EMZ, so you can make it solo more easily. So yeah, it's pretty good. We have 1 Appaloosa, part of your combo, and then just All-Stars, ways to
goats.
end the game, and just win the game.
Alright, let's wrap things up with a side deck.
Yeah, side deck real fast. There's not a lot to explain here anyway. More hand traps because you need more going second.
Gamma,
Gamma Driver, the other 2 Lancias. And then for going first, we got 3 tactics. Always gaming going first, really good. Everyone's playing hand traps.
Facts.
And then we have 3 Twin Twister, 2 Cosmic, Reboot, less for back row, more for Flunder. This is for Flunder. we're not trying to lose a Flutter, even though I lost it anyway. But
Yeah, they were
that's
just
how-
so much representation today.
Yeah, it is a
That's
lot.
what it was.
Yeah, that's the deck.
The birds came in numbers.
Yep.
But my friend, thank you so much for sharing your Gouki list with us. I cannot wait to try it personally. And any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to my own YouTube channel, I guess.
course.
Emanon on YouTube and Twitch. I've been
Follow this man.
Yeah, I've been taking a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm gonna return after this. I'm playing in the YCS as well. I want to play a lot more. And shout out to Logan, obviously. Go sub him if you for some reason haven't. I don't know why you haven't if you're on his channel. And yeah, shout out to Gouki, best deck.
Heck yes. Excuse me, YouTube's gonna demonetize me.
Let's go.
Cheers, brother. Peace out.
Later.
4月を四角い空心の隙間埋め